I know Trusted House Sitters isn't the cheapest option on the block.
Allow me to introduce myself. I represent the rent is too damn high party.
So I want you to have all the information you need to make the best decision for you. Hi, my name is Ozzy, and this year I spent 6 months living completely rent-free as a traveling nomadic pet sitter. And while house sitting is a great way to save money, as a sitter, honestly, I burnt out pretty quickly, and I have many videos covering my horror stories, my successes, how I made the most of the experience and got the best sits. But this video is here to talk about one of the biggest issues that I expected and faced as a pet sitter. Trusted Housesitters Cancellation Insurance has a terrible reputation. It was really important for me to make this video because I wish I had more examples of how to increase my chances of getting my money back if I really need to file a claim. We'll cover 3 things. First, my experiences with cancellations, my strategies for reducing the risk around cancellations, and my experience with the infamous Trusted House Sitters Cancellation Insurance. So I've been on Trusted House Sitters for 1 year. I've had 14 sits on this platform, and I've also experienced 6 different cancellations. So that's quite a ratio, right? Each cancellation was for a completely different reason, so there's really not one size fits all. The first one I actually was the only cancellation that I've initiated, but the other 5 were initiated by the pet owner. As a sitter, you're really getting the short end of the stick in so many ways. The biggest situation where you really feel this power imbalance is when it comes to cancellations. There's not really a way for you to even cancel the sit within the platform. Back when I canceled my one and only sitter-initiated cancellation, that was when they had phone service, but I had to call on the phone, provide explanations. I got like strong warning language about my ability to remain on the platform. But with the owners, my understanding is there's a button they can unconfirm a sit, and that's essentially a cancellation. But let me get into what they canceled for. One of the most frustrating things about the cancellations I experienced was it seemed like the owner would have known. So the first one, the owner ended up shortening their trip because they, without telling me, they didn't have their passport renewed, so they plan to do that last minute if you're flying within 2 weeks, get your passport expedited thing. Turns out they couldn't get their passport in time. So they contacted me less than a week before the sit saying they would have to possibly cancel or reduce the dates. Second cancellation, it was a senior dog and the dog wasn't doing well about a week before the sit, so they canceled their trip. Those situations, of course, make me sad. Of course, I see those as extremely valid, and I feel really bad for their owners that they canceled their trip and they're dealing with a dog that is dying. And then the third owner-initiated cancellation was, honestly, they would have seen it coming. So with Trusted House Sitters, there is this thing called the third-party rule, which is basically when you as a pet sitter are doing the sit, the requirement is that the owner has no one else present at the house. So this owner in particular booked me far in advance, as they always do, but then the week before disclosed that they had a male roommate. They tried to sell it as a good thing, like now you can enjoy the city more because someone else is helping you as a solo female traveler. This roommate is not on the platform. There's no opportunity for recourse. Like it was just too messy. That one was a little tricky. The semantics get really in the weeds, but blatantly against Trusted House Sitters rules, so that was grounds for cancellation. Most recently, in my last 2 house sits, which ultimately was a big deciding factor of me discontinuing Trusted House Sitters, at least for now, was I had 2 cancellations in a row. One of them had a death in the family, so they canceled their trip. and the other one, a family member tested positive for COVID. So generally, how I minimize the risk of cancellations is traveling to locations which I consider trusted house sitter pet sitting hubs. This has so many advantages. It's like an unofficial cancellation protection, so you can easily hopefully rebook another sit for those same dates. Unfortunately, 3 of my 5 cancellations happen in those hubs, so I could pretty quickly find a new sit with similar dates. And I strongly recommend, if you have to travel to the housing, make sure that your airfare, however you're planning to get to that destination, is as flexible as possible, just in case people be canceling. Because I knew I was going to be relying on Trusted House Sitters as my primary source of housing for most of the year, I knew I wanted to have the cancellation insurance. And on the face of it, at least on that little page when you're about to buy the insurance, it sounds great. You get covered up to $1,500 per year, up to 30 days. I forget. I'll just throw it up. And the gag is that as you read the fine print, you see that there are these other requirements and costs around actually exercising your cancellation insurance. The key details around the cancellation insurance: you have to have a certain threshold for the membership. You only qualify if your cancellation happens less than 14 days before the start of the sit. Alternative accommodations that you find need to be within 20 kilometers of the original sit. What else was the fine print? Oh, I think this is bullshit, that you also have to pay $100 towards your claim. Wait, I'm already paying a higher level of membership just to have the option to get the cancellation insurance, and now I have to pay another $100. Ugh. Let me take you on the journey of my own cancellation. I just want to break down the steps and how long the whole process took. So day 1 or day 0, September 7th, the owner canceled the sit. I immediately contact Trusted House Sitters the same day to let them know, hey, this owner canceled, it's within a week, these are the dates, I need to use my cancellation insurance, and asking them how to submit the claim, what documents I need to provide. And at the same time, I requested that the owner communicate their cancellation reason within the Trusted House Sitter platform while they unconfirm the sit. Then I had a little bit of a back and forth with Trusted House Sitters. It was a little messy because I kept on getting a little conflicting information. First, I was told to submit it at this email address, then another. So I submitted it as many times as I needed to, as soon as possible, just so I could get the ball rolling. So the next day, September 8th, is when I submitted my claim, including that screenshot from the Trusted House Sitters platform, put the dates of the sit, blah, 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 all those key details, receipt for the Airbnb I booked, which was for the exact same dates. A couple weeks go by, and then I get an email from Trusted House Sitters confirming that the claim was submitted to their insurance partners. Cool. Okay. Love that. And then about a month later, I got the confirmation that my claim was approved. So again, the cancellation happened September 7th. By October 19th, so like a month and a half, it was $800 because I had a 6-day sit, $150 a night. That is $900 minus the $100 that I have to pay towards it. So they paid $800, and I ended up paying, I think maybe $130-ish towards my accommodations. I feel like that is the most concrete way I have gotten my money's worth from Trusted House Sitters. We're even after the trauma. Don't even get me started about that diarrhea dog.
Chicken liver, doggy shit, diarrhea, nastiness. It marinated. This is a little dog. This dog had more poopies. 115-pound dog. I reached my breaking point in that moment. She just walked by me smelling so farty. She was kind of gassed me out.
Then I asked them how long it would take for me to actually receive the money. They didn't answer me for 5 days. Maybe there was a holiday, I don't know. And then October 24th, they said it would take 7 to 10 business days. And I got the money by Halloween, October 31st. I honestly love that I was able to live how I did for how long this year. In 2022, I spent over $20,000 on rent. This year, 2023, I spent a little over $7,000 in rent and airfare. So that alone is a blessing. But Trusted House Sitters did really burn me out. But for those of you, it's the time in your life to do Trusted House Sitters, I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, definitely put it in the comments. Here to help you. All right, I think that's it for now. All right, peace.